Hello again. Have you ever wondered whether or not your DM has actually fleshed out their entire world? They might have a folder full of the families and the stories of each and every little village, city, or dungeon. Well, most of the time this isn't the case. In fact, I'm going to tell you why I don't do this, why improvising is so powerful, and why you don't have to make sense of your improv at first.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Let's start with a regular base game, for example. A giant tree is creating man-eating plants around a small village, terrorizing them and they can't get any trade. From this small story, you have a setting, an enemy, and a quest. The village is also sort of set up. We know that it's small and it's also a trading village, but who are they trading with? If the players ask, you can just improvise, say a random name in your head. So Doomslayer. You're building from the improv. It also engages the players, especially if you know they are getting bored with something that you made. Add an Easter egg of some sort. If they are low on health, they can find a fairy fountain and heal or something like that. And then boom, now you have an entirely new race of fairies that will heal those who find them. Every new thing you improvise on is a new thing you added to your world. If you are a person who does write an entire world's history, you can still do this strategy because it's fun, and it can come with a huge advantage to your story. The point is that your world doesn't necessarily need to be fully thought out. You can have fun with it and play around with different ideas as they come along. But make sure you keep notes, because that's where things can get a little confusing for the players. Players tend to try to fill the gray areas of your story, even if most of it doesn't really make sense. You can say that a noble from another kingdom is at the city of Atrimarch, another kingdom's land. The question can arise, what are they doing here? Why would they step foot outside their kingdom? Or even better, what are they planning? None of this has to be thought out. Most of the time, the players can think of things you never even thought of, and you'll end up with a story of that noble being a betrayer of their kingdom and becoming an enemy to the players, even though the noble simply walked their path and you thought them up on the spot. Everything can make sense if you, the creator, make it make sense. If you know your world, and most of the personalities of the NPCs you make, then you know the reactions to things that players do in your world. You know how a kingdom would react if the players burned down their villages, even if that kingdom at first wasn't even thought of. You don't have to spend hundreds of hours writing a world they may or may not explore at some point. And even if they do, you can improvise. They can find clues to why a race is in this part of the region and not here on another day. Most of the time, those improvised ideas can be better than the ones you made, rotting in your room writing. Another thing to think about is the players can destroy and rewrite your world anyway. They have the power to do so. Eventually, you're going to have to improvise anyway, unless you want to railroad your campaign. But most of the time, this isn't fun for most players, which is another video I'm working on. Anyway, what do you think? Should DMs make their entire world, every little story, every family, and NPC before playing? Maybe it depends. Comment down below to tell me what you think. I'm interested in what y'all's thoughts on this would be.